morning. It's not often I beat my alarm clock. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning at the moment, but I have the keys to a yellow Porsche outside and I have to do the car community proud and milk every opportunity to drive the thing. So this is my last few hours with the Porsche before I return it. But before I do that, I've got a few errands to run. Can you see that? I jammed my finger in a car door. Ouch. If you've been following this channel for any length of time, you'll know that this obviously used to be called the AMG Lounge. So I've got a few errands to run, wash the car, fuel the car, and I'll explain what happened to the AMG Lounge. But first, coffee. Bye, baby G. Guys, what do you actually think about this colour? It's pretty bright, means that it's, you know, bright enough to wake you up in the morning. It's almost like you don't need coffee, whereas I need coffee. I have a problem. But anyway. Actually, let's put you about there. Okay. Good. Oh my god. Let's try again. Right, let's do a little impromptu visit to get some coffee. Again. Oh yes. Hartford Coffee Lab. Thank you and please. Do not card the wheels, do not card the wheels.
Can I get a small mocha to take away, please? Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yes. A lot of people seem to have a problem with this cup holder being here, not being in its traditional 911 place. But I personally don't have a problem with it because sitting here, it's right by your hand. It's not like they put the gear stick all the way back here, unlike another Stuttgart manufacturer. But anyway. Right, now that I have my fuel, let's go and get this baby fueled. So this channel used to be called the AMG Lounge, and I was, and to a degree still am, a massive AMG fanboy. Not only was I a fanboy, but I also worked for Mercedes and did so for just shy of 10 years. And as you can imagine, I was lucky enough to drive pretty much every Mercedes and every AMG that they had to offer during my time there. Unfortunately, not all the cars made it to the channel. The YouTube channel came about probably about 2-3 years into my career there, and the whole thing just happened almost as if by accident. I'm massively into photography and videography, which I'll come back to, but it just made sense to merge the two, my photography, videography, make a YouTube channel and create an Instagram channel, and I called it the AMG Lounge, and that's basically how that all came about. I mean, the first few videos were pretty terrible, but we had to start somewhere, right? Right, let's get some fuel. It's good etiquette. I picked the car up with a full tank of fuel, so I shall return it with a full tank of fuel. Right, let's put the good stuff in, shall we? Supreme. I have never fueled a car from the front. This is a first. Alright guys, so another etiquette of borrowing cars is that you return it clean. So let's go and give her a nice wash, shall we? I quit my job back in August of 2022, and that wasn't solely responsible for the name change from the AMG Lounge to Gox Car Lounge, but obviously it played a part. When I set up the channel, when I set up the Instagram account, I wanted to only bring exclusive content, exclusive Mercedes and AMG content, more specifically. But later on I realized that I probably limited my audience a little bit. You know, all these other brands were bringing out loads of cars and bringing out all these new tech, but I couldn't really join in because my employer was Mercedes-Benz, and then, you know, that would have caused all sorts of conflict of interest and all that kind of stuff. I had to be very careful about what I said and what I did with the cars for obvious reasons. I never wanted to jeopardize my job. That was my sole income. I really enjoyed my job, so that was that. And I kept telling myself, just, you know, when the right time comes, you can quit your job and then you can focus on YouTube full time. Well, news for you, that right time never comes. There is no such thing as the right time, as I shall now try to demonstrate or explain. The 18 months leading up to the point that I quit my job, me and my partner bought a house, which took 14 months. From the moment that we made a bid to us moving in was 14 months. We got the keys after about 10 and then spent 3 or 4 months doing the place up. 14 months. That was a combination of a chain, combination of some awful solicitors, and, you know, all the COVID stuff was still wreaking havoc. So it took an awful long time. And for anyone who's fortunate enough to be able to get onto the property ladder, you'll know the amount of paperwork and amount of phone calls and all the stuff that you have to do to get a mortgage, to buy a house. So that took up a lot of my life. Not only did we manage to buy our house, but I also became a father. So we also made a baby in that time. So fair to say, I had my hands full. And that kind of dovetails as to why I only managed to upload 2 videos to the AMG Lounge in the year of 2022. So becoming a father and the urge to want to spend more time with my boy made me reevaluate my life. Which reminds me, I do need to pick up some formula for the boy. So we'll just drive into Tesco's and do that as well. Right guys, so while they washed the Minion, what contributed to that low number of videos as well was, of course, chip shortage. Couldn't get hold of any cars, demonstrators or stock. Where we used to register cars every 3 months into our demo fleet, went to 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. For some manufacturers it went longer, so the fleet didn't change as often as I'd like. So for example, the last review I'd done was a C-Class. We registered that in January and it's now January 2023, and I'm pretty sure that car's still being run as a demonstrator at Mercedes. And even if we did register any cars, there weren't always, let's say, like, we didn't have an AMG for a very long time, and I understand why, because we couldn't get hold of them, and the ones that we could get hold of went to customers. Customers come first, which I understood. I was at a real crossroads. I wanted to spend more time with my boy. I wanted to do what I loved doing, and then yeah, basically just quit my job. And so what you guys might not know, which I touched on earlier, is that now I am a full-time photographer and videographer. So that's what I do as my 9 to 5 now, which is giving me more time to create more content. And the whole point of the name change, which I don't think I've made clear, is that it now being called Gox Car Lounge means that I could bring you any and every brand. I can bring you vlogs, reviews, whatever I want really, as long as it's obviously got something to do with cars. As far as first brand to appear on the channel, other than Mercedes, Porsche isn't a bad start, so thank you to the guys at Porsche. All right, I think they're nearly done. Let's go get some formula for the boy. Maybe I was wrong about the practical of a 911. Not too shabby. If you guys haven't seen the full video of the Porsche 911, it's probably one of my favourite videos, so I can never remember which way to point. I think it's that way. But anyway, I'll link it either here or at the end of the video. Please go check it out. We blew a massive budget on it. I think the whole thing cost us just under 80 quid. So yeah, just like head over, give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you next time. There's a devil on my shoulder saying, what if you didn't return the car? Well, it probably hurt my chances of borrowing another car. Plus the whole police thing probably be an issue. So, better return it. Of course it rains 5 minutes after you wash your car. Ah.